57% of coaches say that they did not receive good enough training for neurodiversity and how to support individuals within their own sports. We are only partway through the research, but the numbers so far have been quite shocking. And coming from a background in sports, I had an idea of what it might look like, but I am a little bit surprised by the results so far. It's mostly coaches that have taken part in this research so far, with a couple of educators and some parents thrown in there as well. It's important to have that data because otherwise we don't know where the information is coming from. And unfortunately, I'm not surprised by this next result at all. It's good to see that some experiences are better than others and that sometimes the needs are being met. However, it is still quite a high number that are saying their needs are not met. It is interesting, though, that this view is coming from the coaches as well as the parents. And it would explain this stat a little bit as well. This is awful. I knew it wasn't where it needed to be. However, this number has surprised me. And we've got a little bit more detail on what the thoughts are of the coaches coming up in the next bit. Overwhelmingly, the responses we've had have been saying that there is a desperate need for more training and support for coaches, teachers, instructors in various different sports. And obviously, from our own experience with our children, we know that to be the case as well. Better training for all of the different neurotypes is needed. And a lot of responses said that the kids need training too, so that they can support their peers within their sessions. It seems that clubs and providers are not willing to source the training that the instructors are looking for. They're having to go out and find it themselves, and that quite often they're given a blanket approach to neurodiversity, again linking back to needing better training for each neurotype so that they can actually make it an individual experience that works for that individual. It needs to be different. It's not one size fits all. And finally, from the coaches, having more involvement from parents seems to be quite a strong response as well. However, being a parent myself as a neurodiverse child, I do understand the struggles that parents face when trying to kind of pick up some of those fun things from the sessions to then do with your child at home or out and about. But again, putting my teacher hat on, my coach hat on, it genuinely makes such a difference to those children if they are having the opportunity outside of their lessons, their sessions, their training, to actually be able to practice those skills in a fun setting. Quite often with neurodiverse children, the fun is taken out of things because they struggle with the environment that they're in. However, they feel comfortable with their parents, with their siblings, going to the park, all things like that. There will be things that as parents you'll be able to hopefully encourage them to do some of the skills from their sessions, but in a setting where there isn't the pressure to perform. But like I said, we're only partway through the research so far, and it is really interesting to see what the responses have been from the different sports. And when the research has come to an end, I will share those results as well. But I am grateful to anyone who has taken part so far. And if there is anyone that would like to take part, you would like more information about what we're trying to do, then I've popped the details here. The link to the form isn't clickable, but it will work if you type it into your browser. And if it doesn't, pop us an email and we'll be more than happy to send it over. We're looking for participation from all different types of sports, from parents, coaches, educators, participants themselves, and anyone else who's involved with the sport. It can be club volunteers who aren't necessarily coaches, but they do have involvement with the participants. Currently, the research is due to end on the 25th of November. However, if we are still getting lots of responses, we may extend that. But like I said, thank you so far to everyone that's supported either by completing it or sharing it. And if you want to be involved, all the details are on the screen.